Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well let's learn English together. And hello again, people. Hello, welcome and come in. Oh, you're already in. Okay, I knew that. So, here we all are once again. And what day is it? Yes, that's true. It's Wednesday, that arid desert of the middle of the week. The time when we know not to look up. It's the middle of the week, remember? And we all know what the implications of that are. We're moving under Colossus as we speak. And we don't know if he's wearing, well, we don't know what he's wearing. He could be wearing jeans, or shorts, or pajamas, or, well, he might be wearing your traditional sort of ancient Greek clothes, you know, like a sheet, some sort of toga. So I think it's probably best if we just keep our eyes focused ahead of us. Resist the temptation to look up. Just keep your eyes trained on the horizon. Keep looking out for the end of the week. It's out there, somewhere beyond the horizon, but it's coming closer all the time. All right, now, there were a couple of new words there, which I think we should have a quick look at before we dive into today's lesson. So, the verb to resist, what do you think that means? Well, it's very simple. The verb to resist has got three main meanings, but we're not interested in all of the meanings of the verb. The two meanings that we're interested in here are the ideas of resisting temptation and the idea of someone physically resisting. So, first things first, second things second. What's temptation? What's this noun which we get from the verb to tempt? Well, the verb to tempt means to try and get someone to do something which they want to, but which they know is wrong or a bad idea. People often think about sweet foods as being very tempting. Most people like sweet things, but at the same time, we also know that sweet foods, ice cream, chocolate cake, and things like that, well, these things aren't very good for our teeth or our figures. As we can see here, Baboon gives in to temptation. He can't resist the sweets and cakes and chocolate.
Sugar! Bless!
You know, too many sweets can make you fat.
Shut your mouth hole, rodent!
You can give in to the temptation and eat chocolates and cakes all day, but that means that your teeth will fall out and you'll look like a blue whale in tight jeans. Not the way most people want to look. If something is tempting, we want to do it, eat it, take it, whatever, but we know that it's wrong. If you see someone's wallet lying in the street and you can see that the wallet is stuffed full of cash, then you might feel tempted to take the money and go on holiday. But you know that this is wrong. This is not your money. So even if you find the idea of taking this money tempting, you know that to take it is wrong. Think about how people catch wild animals. They put some of the animal's favorite food. I don't know, perhaps rhinos and giraffes really like pizza. So if I put some pizza out, then I know that the rhino or giraffe will smell the pizza and will come to see where the smell is coming from. They'll be tempted to eat the pizza and then I can catch them. I tempted them with something that they really like. And even though they thought something was wrong, why is the pizza here in the middle of nowhere? Maybe it's a trap. But if they can't resist the temptation, they'll come to eat the pizza, and so I can catch a rhino and a giraffe. Hooray for me. So, if something is tempting, we want to do it, but we know that we shouldn't. All right, now, what about the idea of resisting temptation? What do you think that means? Yes, that's the idea of fighting against temptation. Part of your brain is only thinking about short-term pleasure, saying, come on, take it, eat it, drink it, do it. And another part of your brain is thinking longer term and saying, no, don't, leave it there, don't eat it. Your teeth will turn black and fall out of your mouth, and then nobody will want to talk to you. Don't drink it. It'll make you fat, and you'll have a headache tomorrow, and you'll be in a bad mood, and nobody will want to talk to you again. Don't do it. You're meant to be working, not playing silly games, and if the boss sees you playing games at work, then you'll lose your job, and then you'll lose your house, and then your wife and kids will leave you, and then you'll be homeless, and you'll smell as bad as a homeless dinosaur's armpits, and then nobody will want to speak to you ever. So, if you resist temptation, you don't give in. You don't surrender to the short-term part of your brain. If you resist temptation, you concentrate on the benefits of not eating the cake now, not drinking that beer in the middle of the day with your friends, not going to the cinema when you've still got homework to finish. Now, the other idea connected to resist, the more physical idea, is the idea that you fight against something. Think about the game of rugby. Think about what happens when a rugby player has the ball. What do the other team's players try to do? Yes, they try to take the ball away, don't they? Yes. And what does the man with the ball do? That's right. When they try to take the ball away from him, he resists. He struggles and fights back to try and keep the ball. He doesn't just give them the ball. No, he resists. He fights against them. He struggles to keep the ball. He doesn't surrender the ball. He resists the other players. He fights back when they try to take the ball from him. So, when he's tackled, he resists. He fights back. He struggles to try and keep the ball. And although in this situation we can see that this struggle is physical, it's also possible to imagine a struggle as a mental idea. Try and imagine when I was at school. Yes, I know, it's pretty scary, but just try. Here, this'll help. All right, all tight. So that either helped you imagine when I was at school, or you're not going to sleep well tonight. You have to understand that in most schools in the UK, you don't learn grammar. In the 1960s or sometime like that, people in the Ministry of Education in the UK decided that grammar wasn't cool. So they told teachers to stop teaching grammar. I'm not kidding, I'm being serious. My parents were taught grammar at school, but for me and my sister, for our generation, there was no explanation of verbs, tenses, subjects, objects, pronouns, nouns, adjectives, nothing like that. I had a friend at university, Bobby Dazzler, and Bobby always wanted to become a policeman. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he was from Wales. I don't know. I never worked it out. Anyway, everyone who knew Bobby told him to forget his idea of becoming a policeman, but no, Bobby was determined to join the police. For years, all of Bobby's friends tried to convince him, to persuade him to choose a different career. But no, Bobby closed his ears and refused to listen to us. He had decided to join the police and nothing was going to stop him. All right, and he did. Yes, Bobby, just like my dad, became a policeman, and he's still a policeman in the south of England today. Anyway, that's not relevant. The relevant bit is this. When Bobby applied to join the police, when he asked to be let in, when he asked the police to let him join, when he asked the police to turn him into a policeman, there were lots of things that he and every man or woman who wants to become a police officer, anyone who wants to join the police has to do lots of tests and things like that. Okay, this is normal. It's the same in every police force in the world. If you want to become a policeman or a policewoman, then you have to show that, for example, you're fit enough. You have to show that you're in good physical health. You have to show that you can run fast and not fall over and die at the end of the race. You have to show that you're physically strong. You can open a car door without help, for example. You can open a bottle of mineral water on your own. Things like that. Okay, so we all know that there are various physical tests that new police recruits, police cadets, trainee policemen and women have to do. Okay, but there are also mental tests. The police test the new recruits to see if they're normal or mad. If you're mad, then they send you home and you can't become a policeman. So, at least that means that Bobby's not mad. Phew. All right, now, finally, I'm going to tell you the point of this story. You might think that learning grammar is stupid. You might think that because it's your mother tongue, it's a waste of your time learning all the rules. You know how to speak and how to write. That should be enough. But no, it's not. And I'll tell you why. When Bobby applied to join the police, there was a test to see how well he could read and write English. Fine. The police have to write and read reports. So we have to make sure, we have to check, we have to ensure that the police are literate. We have to make sure that the police can read and write. If someone can't read or write, if that person is illiterate, and that person joins the police, they won't be able to write their reports, and they won't be able to read other people's reports. Okay, so we understand that we have to check that potential police recruits are literate and not illiterate. Fine. But the questions on Bobby's application form were shocking. Shockingly low level. And why were the questions set at such a low level? Because for 35 years, teachers hadn't taught English grammar. So lots of people didn't know words like noun, or verb, or adjective. They could make a perfectly correct sentence using verbs in different tenses. They knew how to ask questions, how to use nouns and adjectives and adverbs, all of the things that we find in language, but they didn't know what these things were called. So the grammar questions on the police application form were incredibly low level. These were questions that cavemen could answer. One of the questions, a grammar question, to decide if someone was good enough to join the police was this. There was a sentence, and if I remember correctly, the sentence was something like, "The ball is red." Okay? So, that's not a very difficult sentence, is it? No. A drunk chimpanzee with half a brain could understand that sentence. But that's only part of the problem. That was the sentence, and the task was this. This is what you had to do. The person who wanted to join the police force, the person who wanted to become a policeman or policewoman, had to draw a line under the word in the sentence, which is a verb. Yes, you heard me correctly. Underline the verb. That was the task. So you might think that grammar is boring. You might think that grammar is stupid, but it's not. If we understand grammar, we understand how to create sentences. Grammar is the skeleton of the language. We need it to build our sentences so that we can communicate more and more skillfully. Oh, and policemen's helmets. We're out of time. Oh, no. Oh, well, never mind. We'll pick up where we left off tomorrow, and then we'll get stuck back into the grammar again. And, if nothing else, then you can pass the test and possibly join the police. All right, people. I'll see you all later. Have fun. And remember, resist temptation. Okay, well, you don't have to resist it too much. If you see some chocolate, then have a piece. But don't go over the top. Don't wolf the whole bar of chocolate down in one gulp. Softy, softy, catchy monkey. I'll see you all tomorrow. And remember, there's always the website. www.mediaclick.hu. See you all tomorrow. See you later. Bye.